Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel and thanks for watching. I wanted to do this as a vlog because I just got to thinking today some pieces that I wanted to start this out with. So part one of how does it feel, how does it feel, or how do you deal with having a body that is failing you, basically. So how do I deal with that? So here we are. So part one, part one is it's not easy at all, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm having a really rough time. So for anybody who's new here, or if you were wondering what I'm talking about, I'm obviously a fat woman, and I've been dealing with pain in my, I'd always call it my leg pain, for a really long time, for years, 5 to 6 years. I can remember really well, being when the pain really started when I was walking, because years ago I was even trying to lose weight, I was trying to get healthy, and I had this route downtown that I started walking, and it was 6 miles. Okay, that's a 10K. I couldn't run it, and I could even actually try to run like a little bit, but like, you know, I was getting there. And then things just started getting really bad, and I remember being at the gym with a friend and trying to do some, I think we were doing hip inductor or whatever it's called, workouts on a weight machine to just help, and it just got to the point I couldn't do it anymore. I started going to the chiropractor. They adjusted my pelvis because my pelvis was tilted. They didn't x-ray me though, and I know chiropractors don't need to, most don't. I remember the chiropractor at the time did say that, you know, once they go in there and see what's going on, maybe they'll send me for x-rays. Wow, I really wish they had. So fast forward to this last year, 2018, I started modeling and doing runway, and I can do it really well, but it hurts so bad to stand and to walk. And it's just like, all I kept telling myself was that I was doing this for myself. I wasn't working out or moving enough, and I wasn't healthy. So finally went in December 2018 to get my shit x-rayed because I was in so much pain. I was like, something is very wrong. Whether or not it requires exercise on my end or not, I need to know what the hell is going on. Turns out I have congenital hip dysplasia. Hip dysplasia is extremely shallow hip sockets. So basically, my whole life, I'm 31, I have had these extremely small hip sockets. And so the ball that goes into your socket, you know, it's supposed to hold like this. Mine's like this. They're basically non-existent. I've seen photo or x-rays of people who have dysplasia and been like, wow, look at your big hip socket. Yeah, so that's why the pain started, was it was starting to get bad. And I didn't know I had this. And I'd always described it, and this kills me, and I swear I'd even mentioned it to my doctor, it's in the past now, that it felt like my leg was dislocating. And that is also what hip dysplasia is shallow hip sockets, and your joints dislocate because there's not a freaking socket for it to be in. And bone on bone. And that's what started happening too. So now I've come to find out that it's so advanced, and the osteoarthritis in there is so bad that I needed, basically found out that I needed to have surgery or surgery. So it was either a preservation hip surgery or a full hip replacement. When you're 31 years old and you hear that you have to have your hips possibly replaced, I'm still processing it, you know, because we did find out through an MRI that the arthritis is too bad. I apparently even have cysts in there, and I have to have a full hip replacement. I have to have both of them done. And I'm scared shitless. I'm not gonna sugarcoat any of this because, you know, I'm always honest. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I've been dealing with a lot. Like, I'm getting chills just thinking about it because, you know, after I had to go to 3 orthopedic surgeons. The first guy was like, you know, surgery or surgery. He was the preservation specialist. He's like, but he's like, you probably have to have them replaced, but let me have you go talk to my partner at the same clinic. So I went and saw him. He was an asshole. The first guy was decently nice. You know, the second guy, of course, had to kind of make it about my weight a little bit, or suggest that I lost weight. And I understand that when you carry a lot of weight on you, like I do, you know, obviously that hurts and can make recovery of a hip surgery harder, I'm sure, you know. So that was really tough. But anyways, he said that I was possibly a candidate for something called a PAO, which is a very, very specific hip preservation surgery. And it's freaking awful looking. They basically go in and re-rotate your pelvis, carve out new sockets in your pelvis, and then basically like screw your fucking pelvis to your joint. And I've seen just the x-rays, obviously. I'm not like watching orthopedic surgery videos or anything like that. So I'm just like, oh my God. So I got sent to the doctor who is the only doctor in my state who does this. Thank God he takes my insurance. It's at OHSU, so, you know, they're a good hospital. So I had to go into a third meeting or appointment, you know, just to be told that, well, you need an MRI. Well, no shit. So I'm exhausted at this point. You know, this was in February that I was told, finally, after seeing somebody like the first week of January, that I needed an MRI. The first guy, they knew what I had. They know it's hip dysplasia. It's not oh, we think you have this. It's very obvious in my x-rays what's going on. And the first guy could see the arthritis. And that's why he says the arthritis is so bad, you probably don't have anything there to preserve. But the second guy didn't think so. Finally had the MRI, which, you know, is expensive. I can't afford this fucking shit. Like, so I went in last week, and I have my mom going with me because I live by myself, you know, I don't have a partner, and, you know, just want to make sure that my parents help me kind of ask certain questions, make sure I don't forget things, and make sure I hear certain things, whatever. So it was confirmed that I will be having or have to have a full hip replacement. I have to have my hips fully replaced. And I'm really scared. And it really sucks. I don't have to lose weight before the surgery because, like he said, I mean, I'm in fine health otherwise, besides the fact that my mobility is limited because I'm in so much pain. So that's good. But I have to do them separately, and so I have to have two hip replacement surgeries. We're hoping to do them within the year. I'm hoping to get a schedule as soon as possible. So right now we're sitting in an early, or we're not April yet. I'm hoping for early April. This is late March 2019. So yeah. So what is it like, and how do you deal with a body that's failing you? Well, this last year I got really, really comfortable with myself. I finally really, for the first time as an adult, loved myself and my body. And, you know, it's really hard in a society that tells you that you're fat and you can't love yourself if you're fat, basically. And it's just been great. And I started modeling. Like, what? Modeling? I have grown a big following on Instagram. Apparently I'm an inspiration to people, which just blows my freaking mind. I did go through did this thing where we tried to bring light to a topic on Instagram, and I wound up, because I'm an emotional person and I wear my heart on my sleeve, that I did deal with some, I would call it bullying, from people in my plus size fat community, which was really sad. I think it was just misplaced anger, but I can't stay quiet. So anyways, that was really tough, but otherwise, 2018 was starting in April. I moved out on my own. I wasn't living with my parents. I just lived with roommates. I did live with my parents for a brief amount of time after a breakup years and years ago. Okay. No, I've lived with roommates, but now I'm living by myself for the first time ever, and that's been crazy. But it was so good. I was feeling so good. And in December, I had my x-rays, and by that time, I was just tired. And then I went through, I guess it was a breakup. I had been dating a guy for a couple months. I wasn't supposed to catch feels, but I did. It's really besides the point, but it adds to kind of how I started feeling in December. And so when I had the x-rays and was told, the girl, the radiologist, when she took the x-ray, she was like, I can't really tell you what's going on, but you definitely weren't dealt a good hand with your hips. And I'm just like, bullshit. So, the radiologist from Legacy Legacy Hospital, which is where I go, said that the notes were that it was a bone abnormality. Something called an impingement was suggested, what it was, and apparently that, whatever the hell that is, it sucks, but it can be helped with physical therapy. So come January, that's not what it was. So by the end of last year, I was very tired. I was in excruciating pain, and so the last couple months, I've just really sunk into myself and become so depressed and so sad, and I haven't been taking care of myself as well as I used to. My body is failing me, and it seems like since December, it's just been deteriorating faster than I could have possibly imagined. I can barely walk. I did get a disabled parking permit from my doctor, which was really cool. He's not a bad doctor. He's not, I know a lot of fat people deal with fat phobic doctors. I know that in some cases he's suggested that weight loss could help some things. I do know he did mention that weight loss could help my leg pain that I talked about years ago because we didn't know what it was, which sucks, but I still would have had to have a hip surgery. I just maybe would have had to have the preservation surgery instead of the replacement, and maybe my body wouldn't be as tired as it is now. But how I'm handling it is not great. I'm not, I'm angry, I'm sad, I sometimes don't even understand the point in having the hip surgery to make myself feel better, because what's the point? I get that whole, what's the point of life? And it's, yeah, and then, my mom and I went to the appointment for the follow-up from the MRI, and we're told, we got the answers, because it got to the point where I was like, I just want to know what the heck they want to do. What is the surgery going to be? What do they want to do? What is going to happen? And so when I was told, when you get the news, oh, you have to have full hip replacement, I'm scared. And of course my mom's like, oh, this is good news. It's so good news. And it's it's good news in a bad situation. So it's just, I'm still processing it. I am having issues trying to get the surgery scheduled because the doctor didn't put an order for surgery in. So it's been over a week since my follow-up appointment from the MRI. I should have been able to schedule it last week, but I can't because of that. So that really sucks. But it's gonna get scheduled. It's gonna happen. I just want it to happen, and I want it to happen fast because I'm terrified of the recovery. I'm already scared enough of surgery. I had a mild surgery in November. It was my first one ever, besides having my wisdom teeth out, whatever. It went great. There wasn't any pain or anything afterwards, really. I had a little fatty lump removed from my back that was really big. And it went fine. You go to sleep and then you wake up. You don't remember any of that. But I have an irrational, crippling fear of anesthesia. Also because I'm fat. But, like I say, I'm in good health. It's not, like, besides that, like, I am for a fat human, I am in good health. I don't have diabetes. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have any of that shit. I just have a bone problem that I was fucking born with. And a lot of that does feed into why I'm bigger, because I haven't been able to move properly for the last like 6 years. And that's a long time. You know, it's just people didn't understand what I was saying when I was like, I used to think I had to stretch stuff out. I used to think it was ligaments and stuff. And so I'd always do this thing where I'd squat down and be like, I gotta stretch my legs out. Turns out that just was probably not a good idea. So yeah, so the appointment, you know, it was good. And it was, you know, oh, good news. My parents are so happy. And I'm not happy. I haven't been happy since probably October, right after my birthday. Got into November, and even November was crap, just personal things. But, you know, I hope that this will bring a better quality of life once it's all done, and I have both of them done. But, you know, until then, one other thing that scares me, and it's so weird, because, like, part of me is, like, I want the rad scars, and I want the scars, you know, to show, you know, show people, like, hey, like, look what I did, look what I've gone through and pushed through, especially modeling. After I did 2 shows after diagnosis, just because they were really important shows. One I'd been cast in before the diagnosis. One, I think I did the casting like right before the appointment, and still I was about to drop out, and then I was like, no, I gotta do this, because it was a show I've been wanting to walk forever. Anyways, so, you know, I want to show people, like, look what I went through, look what I did. Like, I think I'm strong. I guess I've heard that I probably am pretty strong, considering I am still fully walking with this problem. I don't have the luxury to just sit at home and wait for a surgery. You know, I have to work full time. I'm lucky that I have a job where I can sit, but now at this point, just sitting all day hurts. Doing anything, it just all hurts. It's 100% terrible. Right now I'm in like very mild pain. If I sit in one position, if I move my left leg today is the problem. It feels like it's dislocating. The right one is the most troublesome, because there's actually a broken piece in my pelvis that he saw, which is great. I can't feel it, but this one dislocates more. So, you know, so I'm think the scars will be kind of cool, and also I don't want that change in my body. I know scars are beautiful, and I'm not necessarily worried about like what a man's gonna think, but then deep down, that is something that's on my mind, is how it's gonna change how my body looks. And I hope that it's nothing so drastic, and it is just some cool rad scars down my leg, because hip replacement scars, you know, they're pretty big. I'm gonna be like stapled shut, and the recovery I'm terrified of. My parents are gonna help me. I'm gonna stay with them. You know, it's a 4-week recovery. I can't go back to work for 4 to 5 weeks. And so I'll have my mom, and she's a decent nurse. She's not a real nurse, but like, you know, nursing people who, you know, she's been through surgeries with my dad, and she's been through her own surgeries. This one's probably gonna be the most major surgery that I think anybody in our families have. I can't quite remember any older surgeries. Like, my mom's had some foot surgeries, so close. But yeah, so that's what's going on, and why I'm, you know, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with my body, and I'm not taking this well. I know, you know, everybody says it'll be great. It'll be great. Everything I hear about what happens after somebody gets their hips replaced is incredible, and I'm so not sure what that's gonna be like, because I've been so broken for so long, and I'm still trying to tell myself that it's not something that I did to myself. This has nothing to do with my weight. but that's ingrained in your head for so long that, you know, I wasn't doing this. Like my chiropractor was like, well, you know, you just need to stretch more. Like it's, you know, it's ligaments and muscles and stuff and tendons, which is bullshit because it's not. My ligaments and my tendons are totally fucking fine. My bones aren't in place. Whew. So, yeah. So right now this is the part one. It's been a long video. I've just basically just talked at you. I'm gonna do more of this maybe once I have my surgery scheduled, and then probably maybe like, you know, I'm gonna do like, I think, a series on this because it is important that people know what's going on with me and understand the truth and reality of how scary it is to have such a diagnosis, and how that feels and what it's like. And yeah, I hate my body right now. That's the other point of a lot of this, is that I'm dealing with a big body image crisis. Up until about October, I was doing great. I was loving my body. I was doing photo shoots. I was beautiful, you know, or I felt beautiful. I mean, I'm still, whatever, I'm beautiful, whatever. But, yeah, I hate everything about my body now. I'm having hair crises. I'm having it's all a fucking crisis right now. But my head is not doing well, and I don't feel comfortable in my skin, like I did last year. And for the first time in 30 years of my life, besides when I was a kid, you know, little and didn't care, like, I felt so good. I felt so good, and then come the end of the year, something just had to happen. So that's the beginning of the saga. As it continues, I will make some more videos and keep vlogging this. So thanks for coming to my channel and watching my video, and if you watch the whole thing, thank you. Because as I always watch the timers on these, I'm like, God, who is watching this for 20 minutes? Are you crazy? But yeah, so that's what's going on right now in the series of how do you feel about your body, and how do you handle a body that is failing you.